Hello there. In this video, I want to take you through the process of building an interactive dashboard. This dashboard tells a story about the performance of products. It's telling us the performance analysis of each of the products in each of the country and the sector of the economy of each of those countries. So I want you to sit back as we walk through this process together. Mind you, the data set I use for this analysis is placed in the description down below. So I want you to do well to download so that we can work together and then you walk along with me as we practice together. Can you see? This is the interactive chart that we're going to build together, and it's interactive because as we change this year, every other thing changes and it's responsive at the same time. So you can see the way they are all changing along. Every other thing responds to this combo box. You can see, so this is a sales analysis for this particular company called TWA. So everything here are built by using just text box and shape through insert. That's all, apart from the chart that you have there. Every other thing you see is from the text box and shape or in Excel. Some can use PowerPoint to develop their own dashboard and bring it in and insert it as picture so that they can now start using text box to introduce their various values from the analysis. Some can use downloaded images or made images and so on and so forth. All these can be worked with as long as you understand how it works, which is what I want to show you now. And you can see how responsive they have all been all along. So once you work with it, you will enjoy it the way it is. Now this is the data set that we want to use. You can see it has been divided into the various columns of section, countries, products, and the rest of them down to year in which all the transactions are taking place. So this is the transaction data. Now we want to analyze this product, the product of this company. As you can see, all these products, want to analyze them to show the performance of each of the products for each country and each section of the economy, basically around specific year. All right, so want to see how each of these products perform in each of this country according to each year. So that is what we want to do, and I'm not using pivot table. I'm using Excel function completely to prepare this dashboard. So in case you want to get a good understanding of all the functions I want to discuss with you now, I would advise you watch my previous video titled Boost Your Data Analysis Skill with this Excel function. Now, first thing we need to do, let's convert this to a table. This is just a data set. How do you know it's just a data set that is not a table? You can see on the ribbon here, there is nothing like table design. So once you don't see that, you know that this is not a table. It's just a data set. So that's just the easy way I can let you know. So how do we convert it to table? Just press Ctrl T. That's one of the ways. Now this will pop up on the screen. Make sure that you check my table has header. So you click. Now it has been converted. Now, like I said, you can see table design has come, so you can change it to whatever design as you wish. So that I'm just okay with this because aesthetic is not what I want to look at. All right, so then you give the table name and then make sure that the table has no space. The name, you don't have space in between. If it's two words, you can join them with underscore or dash, or you use dot, or you just join the two words together. There is no problem. So I'll call this sales data. Sorry. sales data. Then you make sure you hit enter. All right, if you watch here, you will see that it is already written there. So that's how you know. So how to do that, you go to table design before you can see where to name it. So now this is it. So let's start our analysis. So I want to bring out, so I'll do the analysis on a separate page so that to make it easier, because already this page is already filled up, as you can see. So the best thing, just move to another page to do your work, just to make it tidy and okay. It doesn't matter, you can still work on this page, but man, you have 1168 records that we have. So I'm going to do an analysis on this page. So let me name it EDA. You can right click on it here for those that doesn't know, and then you click on rename, then you give it EDA. That's exploratory data analysis. So I know that that's where I'm doing it. So now I'm going to bring out the list of the year. I want to bring out those years, their list, all the years that we have in our data. I'm bringing them out uniquely without duplicate. You can see there are so many duplicates because it's according to the year. You can see that many of the years are repeated, 2019, before I start seeing 2018 and the rest. So we need to bring them out uniquely. Unique means without duplicate. So how do you do that? I'll use unique function to do that. And if you don't have 2021 version of Excel, if you have maybe 2016 downward, you will not have the privilege of having to use unique. So you can use advanced filter. So maybe you can see that in my previous video. So now let's see for the unique. We just type equals to unique, then you press your tab. You don't need to finish spelling. Once you are paying attention to the screen, you see that it has brought it out. So all you need to do is to roll down your arrow down there, and then you press tab to open the bracket for you. So the next thing is to get the array. The other things there are optional. We are not working with that. We just need the unique. So we're only working with the arrays only, so that you don't have to be cramming the formulas. Just take your time and go through what you are seeing here now. So let's go to the year. Let's pick the first one. You click on the first one. Since I want the year also to appear, just click on it from the top, then you hold down your Control Shift, and then your down arrow, it will select everything. Now you can see 2016. So you click enter. Now you can see all of them, they are out, isn't it? So now what do? I don't need it in, I just need the values. I don't need the formulas. As you can see, the formulas are also there. So the implication is that some Excel function, when you are referring to this, may not see them because you'll be seeing the function. So how do you do that? I like them this way, and then you press Ctrl C and then Ctrl V to make it easy. Once you press Ctrl V, this icon will show up. Just click on the drop down and then go on that paste values and click on this 1, 2, 3. Just the values. That's all. That is gone. I will show you the other method when we get to other time that we need it. So now let me change this color. Okay, it's okay with black. I like Arial as a font. I need to make it, then all these ones too, let me make it normal Arial. It doesn't need to be bold. All right, so now we need to sort it out in order. So in order to sort it, we highlight them, then you come to your data tab, and then you click on this first one. That's from the smallest to the highest. So you can see everything is arranged in order. All right, so now you have your year. I can call this year list. Let me call it year list. Since we are bringing them, since we are tying everything around the year, I can't be working with this. I need to select a specific year so that all the calculation will be tied around it. So how do I do that? I need to use index function so that once I click the row number, it will display a value in that particular row. So what will do that for me is index function, because with index function you'll be able to display the value of a particular row number or a particular column number. All right, so now, so this is the row number. I'll write row number here, row number. So any number I choose here, index will do that for me. So let me just use year for it. Okay, so let me make this let me add some. Okay, so let me copy the same thing for the two of them by double clicking on your brush. I've discussed that in my previous video. You click on this and you click on this, it will go. Then if you are okay, you just click, you just press escape button and that will take it out. So now let me do the index function here to get the year. So just say equals to index, open bracket, what is the array? That's this year. Okay, comma. So the next thing, as you can see, row number. So what's the row number? Any number I choose from here. You know, I told you before, I like putting my work that way. So you just click enter. Now everything is spilling, it's showing everyone because I've not selected any row. So once I say 1, which is 2016, can you see to bring it out? If I say 2, can you see? So you can see that it's responsive. Okay, 4, like that. So we are done with that. So now let's work out the analysis now of our, let me start with country. So let's say country per year. So I want to check the performance of each country per year. So let me just do this and then also make it, let me change the color of this to this, then same thing, same black. So the first column, so I need to bring out all the countries as well. So let's bring out all the countries same way we brought out year. All right, so I'll just say equals to unique. So we use our unique function like we did the other time. So you go to the page and select the year. So I mean the country. So we are under the country. Since I'm down there, I can press Ctrl Shift and then up arrow. Then I'll hold Shift down and come down one step. Oh, I even need everything. So everything has been selected. So you can see all the countries are out. So what do we do? Like I said, I don't need the unique function to be displayed. So I'll say Ctrl C, then I'll take you through the other option. That's you right click, then go to space special, and then you see the same value here. So that is another way, or you use this. Okay, once you press Ctrl C, this will also come up like we did the other time. You can see that already been highlighted. So that's all. So let's copy this same function, this same format by clicking on this and paste it here. You can see. Let me copy this as well. I'll use it for all this, so I don't need to be. Then you press escape. So since you are done, so now we have brought out the countries, but then I can also sort it according to, let's sort it as well, or we can decide to leave it that way. Now we can say continue with the selection, only the selection, that's all I need. So it has been arranged according to the year. So now the first thing I want to find here, so let's take this down a bit. Let me space this. Okay, all right. So I want to check the total sales made for each country in each year, the total sum of sales made for each year and for each country. So that's two conditions. So which means the function that will help us to do this is going to be sum ifs, because we have more than one condition. All right, so let me write it here. Total sales. So I can as well copy this format and paste there. that you can. So now let's go equals to sum ifs. Press your tab. Now for sum if, you can see, follow it step by step. You need to select the sum range. What do you want to sum? We are summing sales, total sales, that's the gross sales that was made. So we go, where is that gross sales? This is it. All right, this is the gross sales. So you pick the first one, you press Ctrl Shift, and then the down arrow will take you down. Since this is a table, I don't need to be worrying myself with pressing, making it absolute. It's going to stop there even if I drag it down. That's one of the benefits of converting it to table. Can you see that? Otherwise, I need to make it absolute. All right, so I press comma. So that's what we are summing, and we are summing it according to country and according to year. Now, so we need to supply criteria range 1. Now, what you have to do next after pressing comma will be made bold. We are done with sum range. You agree with me? It was bold earlier, but now it's no longer bold. So this is the next thing to do, which is criteria range 1. So which we want to sort according to country. So we have to select the range of the country, which is this. You click the first one, Ctrl Shift, then you go up, then you press Shift so that you can come down a bit. So we have selected the year. I'll make it comma. You will watch, this will change to bold now. Can you see? It's now the criteria 1. Now out of this range that we chose, what country are you referring to? So let's go back to our table. Make sure you put comma before you move to the next table, otherwise it will change range. Okay, so want for Canada, then you insert your comma. You can see that has changed. So the next we now need to supply the next criteria range, which is year. All right, but before we pick this year, we have to pick the range where this year is located. So now let's go to year in our table. So you pick the first one, and then with Ctrl Shift and then your down arrow, it takes you to the down part. So comma, then the next one is the second criteria, which is year. So which is this. Now look at this. I have to make this absolute, because if I don't make it absolute, by the time I drag the formulas down, because I don't have to be writing for each of the year, that would be waste of time. Okay, but what I will do is to make this absolute by pressing F4. Can you see that? Then I'll hit enter. So it has brought it out. So it's now go back there, and then you bring your cursor here to this dot here until that black cross shows. Then you double click, it will fill everything for you. So now let's introduce our dollar sign. So you just click and go to format cell, and then you come to costume. I don't want to pick currency directly because it will be wide apart, so I want it to stick to the value. So you pick this first option. You can see what it's giving us. That's brought out comma, it has been separated by comma, and then the dollar is close to it, not far. So we do this. So we are done. So we have calculated total sales for each country in a particular year. If I should change this, you will see how responsive it is. Can you see as the year is changing, this is changing? Is that not wonderful? All right, thank you. Let's find the total profit for each year as well. The total profit for each year. Total profit for each country, sorry. Total profit. So once you double click on this, it will expand to that part, to the largest cell. So here again, we are using sum ifs because we want to calculate the total profit made for that particular year. All right, so that's equals to sum ifs. You open your bracket, then we are calculating profit this time around. So we'll go to profit. So you can pick from here. If you like, just hold your control and then up arrow to take you up. So you can now pick the first one, Control Shift down to pick that particular range. So what next? is the criteria. We are calculating according to country. So you pick the first country, just control up takes you up, then you pick that, control shift down, you've gotten that, comma, then you pick the year, the country you are talking about, which is this, Canada, then comma, then remaining year. So for year, we go and pick the range for the year as well. So let's go range for year, control shift down, we pick that for us, comma, what year are we referring to? This particular year. Like I said, you have to make it absolute so that it will not shift, then you hit enter. So let's just do this quickly. All right, so you right click again and go to filter cell, and then let's introduce our dollar. All right, so that's for total profit for each year. So now the next thing is total unit sold. All right, so for total unit sold, we do the same. Is equals to sum ifs. So our sum range is unit sold, control shift down takes it down, comma, so we are dealing with countries, comma, what country are we talking about? This, comma, and let's pick the range for the year, because we are doing it per year. Control shift down and comma, and what year are we talking about? You pick the year here, this one, and then you make it absolute. So let's press enter. So that's the total unit sold for 2016 for that particular year. Now if you continue changing this, you see that the values are changing. Can you see? So now let's deal with product per year. Okay, let me do that here. Product per year, let me copy this same format and paste it on it. So we're going to do the same for us. So let's do product now. Product. So for product per year, I'm going to bring out the list of the products with a unique function as well, so which is equals to unique. Let's select all the product now. The last one, control shift up arrow, and then you go down and you hit your enter. So you have all the products already. So like I said, control C, then you can do the third one. This is the third way of doing it. So you can click here and then you click on this. So that has removed the, you can see that the formulas are gone, only this is left. So if you like, let's arrange it also. Let's sort it in order. Okay, so you go to data and then you click on this, and everything has been arranged in order. Okay, so now let's start by calculating the number of transactions that was carried out. So that's number of orders that was made. So how do you go about that? So with count function, you can determine the number of transactions made. So, and since we are calculating the number of transactions made, which means we are dealing with one condition, so count if is sufficient. You can as well go with count ifs. There is no problem. Count if go for one or more condition, but if just one condition, count if is sufficient. All right, so now let me write that out. Number of order. Remember, we are doing a per product per year now. So now what do we do? That's equals to count if, so I can pick it from here and then press tab, Okay, so I'll go there. So let me just use the product to do that. Any of the column we serve, just to count the number of column. But since I'm dealing with product, I want to know the number for each of the products. So it's better I use the product column. All right, so that it can be able to count the specific number of transactions for each of the products. So let's take a look at it. So I'm picking the range, because once you say count if, the first thing to do is to check the range. So the range is product. Then you place your comma. Then the next thing is the criteria. So what's the criteria? Is that particular product, which is Bounty chocolate. So you hit enter. That has made the work easier for you. Then you double click so that I can spill it downward. So that is for that. So now we can as well know the cost of all the products. That's cost of gross sales. Okay, so what it cost for each of the sales that was made to be made. Then we'll calculate that as well. So let's say total COGS. All right, so this is, so at this point again we are calculating the value for each transactions. Okay, so we are going to use sum ifs because we are dealing with more than one condition. So sum if cannot work at this point because we are calculating for each product in each year. Can you see that? So this equals to sum ifs. Now, like we said, sum range. So the range is the cost of gross sales, which is this. Control Shift to take you up. Sorry, Control Shift should take you up. Then Control up will take you up. So you now pick the first one, Control Shift down. That has selected that. So you put command, then we are calculating based on the product. So you pick the product. So you pick the first one from the product. Control Shift down takes it down for you. Then comma, what product are we talking about? You go to your EDA and then you pick the product. Then comma. Then what is the next criteria, which is year. So let's go back and select the range for the year. So this is it. I'm holding Control down and then up arrow so that can take me to the top. All right, so Control Shift down will select all the years for you. Then comma. Then you now go back and select the specific year you are referring to, and then you make it absolute by pressing F4. Then we hit enter. So that has given us the total cost of gross sales. That's the total cost for the production of that particular sales that was made. So we right click again and change the format to costume. Then you click the first one, like I said, is okay to make it this way. So now let's go to total gross sales that was made. So total gross sales, or you can say total sales instead of saying gross sales. Let's just make it total sales. So that we use sum if as well, which is equals to sum if. You open your brackets, then the sum range, that's gross sales. So now let's select the first one, which is this. Control Shift down, we select everything for you, comma. After comma, then the first criteria is for each product, right? So you click on control anywhere your cursor is. Once you press Control up, it takes you to the top. When you press Control down, it takes you to the bottom of the column. All right, so that's why you see me doing that, because we are dealing with 1000. I can't be rolling and rolling and rolling. So now Control Shift down will bring you to the end of it. We select everything, then comma. Then what is the criteria? What are we looking for? What product is that? We are talking about this, which is Bounty chocolate. So comma. Then we need to select this next criteria, which is year. So we come here and then you pick the year. You can place your cursor there. Control up will take you to the top. Then Control Shift down. We select the range for the year for you, and then we go and pick the particular year we are talking about, which is this. Then you press F4, sorry. You press F4 to make it absolute. Then you hit your enter. Then this is done. Then you double click on this to select that. So you can as well come to the home page and change this. Just click on this number options, because like I said, I don't want it to be separated, so that's why I'm doing this. All right, so we have gotten that. So one more thing, that's the profit made for each of the product. We need to establish the profit made for each of the products. So that's total profit. Total profit, that's for each product. Now I think that should be sufficient for products. Then we'll move on. All right, so this is equals to sum ifs. Now let's go to the range. We're calculating profit. So go to the top and pick the first one. Control Shift down, comma. Then what are we saying for each product? So let's pick the range for the product. Control Shift down takes you there, comma. Then you pick the product you are talking about, comma. Then we have the year to go, which is the criteria range 2. So you can see that you don't need to cram any formula. So we pick the range for the year. All right, Control up takes you to the top. Then you pick the first one. Control Shift down, we select that, comma. Then you now pick the particular year you are dealing with, so you make it absolute as well. Then you hit your enter. So let's roll it down. Let's fill it down by double clicking this. So you can as well come here. So there is one more thing I want to add to the product, and that is what total units sold, because it's actually important to know the total units sold for each product. So we go and say total units sold. So let me copy this format and paste on it as well. So now let me double click this so that I can show it. So now to do this, we use sum ifs, because we are calculating the values of each of the cells. So we are going to do that again, since we are calculating for each product for each year. That's 2 conditions, so which means sum ifs is the best option. So you say equals to sum ifs. What is our range? Unit sold. So let's go and pick unit sold. So we come here, where's our unit sold? This. So you hold your shift, Control Shift, and then down arrow to pick it. So fine. Now the first criteria we are looking at is product, isn't it? So since we are at the bottom, you say Control Shift, then the up arrow, then you hold your shift down alone and then press down arrow to pick that, comma. Now from this product, what precisely are you looking at? We are looking at this particular product. So that is what it is, comma. Then you go to the next criteria, which is year. We are calculating per year. So we go and pick the range for year, so which is here. Click the first one, Control Shift down, then insert your comma. Then what particular year are you talking about here? You go back to your EDA, and then let's pick the specific year we are referring to, which is this. And for this, since we are filling it downward, we have to make this absolute. Okay, so in case if you didn't turn your data set to table format, please, you must always press F4 each time you select the range from your data set. It's because I've converted mine to table, as you can see at the beginning. So that is why. So you hit your enter. That has given us the value for the total units sold. So we roll it down by double clicking here. So now the format is wrong, so we have to change the format to numbers so that everything will be in numbers. So we get rid of the zeros, the preceding zero. So that is that. If you are changing the year, you see how all of them, they are responding. Can you see that? All right, so the next one I want to work with is the section. I want to work with the section. That's how are they faring, but this time I just want to calculate the average for each section. So we just say section per year. So what do we do here? So I'm going to bring each of the section out uniquely, like we have been doing before. So you say equals to unique without wasting much of our time. So you pick unique. Now let's pick the section. These are the sections. Since we're at the bottom, you say Control Shift, then the up arrow, then you hold your here, you need everything, so you hit enter. This brings out all the sections that we have. So let's copy and paste special, Control C, Control V, so that we can get rid of the value. So you click on this to click on value. So that has gotten rid of everything. So let's see, at this point we have our section here. So let me just move everything down one step. Okay, they're all down one step now. So I'll copy this format for this. All right, so let me make all of them the same thing, just normal Arial is okay. Then let me sort it in order. All right, so they are now in order. So I want to calculate the average of discount each section offers, so that you can find out which section gives the best discount. Then you can go and patronize. All right, that's good. So let's see average discount. So at this point, so let me copy this format. I copy this format. Use. All right, so we are using average ifs because we are calculating the average of the discount from each section and per year. So that's two conditions. So we use average ifs, which is equals to average ifs. Then we pick the range, average range. So what is our average discount is what we are doing now. Discount that was offered. So all right, so this is it. Control Shift down, then comma. What's our criteria? We are doing it according to section. So since we are at the bottom, Control Shift up and then Shift down, then comma. What section are we dealing with? Corporation. All right, so comma, then we need the year. So we pick the range for the year as well. Pick the first one, Control Shift down to select all, then comma. After that, we go and pick the specific year we are referring to, which is this. Then you make it absolute by pressing F4. So click enter. So that has given us the average discount. So we roll it down, we fill it down by double clicking at that point. So that's for this. So I think we are okay with the average discount. So what I want to do next is what I call cards, as in I want to flash the cards for performance across each section, that the product, the year, and the section. Okay, so I use card, like in Power BI we call them cards. So that's why I'm borrowing it now as card. I'm going to make it like card. You will see how it will look like, so that will be displaying the top product, top country, and the rest, or highest country, like that. So we say cards. That's this section now. Now let me copy this format used for this. All right, so let me copy the same format for this. All right, so this for cards. So we are going to calculate for the products and the country. So let me do this way. All right, so let's say this first part. So this part is for country. So what am I talking about? I want to know countries with the highest revenue, and then country with the highest profit, and I also want to know the country with the lowest in each category. So let's see. So this section is for country. So I'll say highest sales. Then the next one will be lowest sales, because it's important so that you know. I can extend this so that I can highest sales, lowest sales. Then this one I will need to know most profitable. The same thing goes to least profitable. So I can now extend this now to this point. So it's going to be, let me copy this format. Once I double click, it can go for all. So you press escape to get rid of it. So this for, so now I can put the values for each one of them here. This row will be for the values, while this one will be for the specific country that does that. So I call it label. So let me copy the same format. No, let me just use a different format for them. Or let me use this. Okay. All right, so that's for country. So let me leave a space, and then so here will now be for products. So we'll do the same. So we'll copy the same thing here for product. So in this case, for maximum or highest, we are going to use, for highest we are going to use maximum function. For all the lowest, we are going to use minimum function to establish that. So let's go. So highest sales, or I can make it top sales. Can we change it to top sales? Top sales. Top sales. I can change it to top sales. Can just do this and say this is equals to this. Is part of analysis. Okay, so whatever I put there will filter to the others, so I don't need to be changing everything again. Top sales, lowest sales, most profitable, least profitable. Okay, so let's go equals to max. Now what is it? Max for sales. So we are going to select the range for those. So you hit your enter. So that has given us the one with the highest sales. And if you watch this, so to work with minimum, you say equals to min. Then you select the same thing, the same range. So that's for minimum sales. All right, the most profitable, highest profit. So you say equals to max. In terms of profit, you select this, and that's all. Least, you say equals to min. You open your brackets. In terms of profit, is the same thing, the same range. All right, so we found out. So let's do the same for product. So this product, I'm going to make this centralized. Okay, so let me copy this format and paste on it. All right, so for top sales as well, it's going to be equals to max. Open your bracket by pressing tabs in terms of sales, then lowest sales, you go and say equals to mean, same way sales. Then for most profitable product, as in terms of profit, equals to max. Profit section is what we go to. Right, then the least profitable equals to mean, same thing for profit. Then for top for units sold equals to max. Open your bracket again. Okay, so that's that. So let's copy this. I've double click, so I'll click this to the last one, who ship down, and then I click on escape. So now let's find the value for each one of them. What represents the value for it? Now for top sales in terms of country, what country is that? That's what we are saying out of this value. So now to find this, I'll use VLOOKUP to do this. I can't use VLOOKUP because I'm returning country, which is by the left of whatever value it is. So for VLOOKUP, it works either way, whether to the left or to the right. Whatever the lookup value is, it doesn't matter. But for those of you using lower version of Excel, that's from 2016 or 2019 downward, definitely you will not have VLOOKUP. In case if you don't have VLOOKUP, you don't need to worry. Use the combination of index match. Though I will not treat it here, it will still give you the same process. Just watch my previous video, you will see how you can use index match. It's still in the description down below. The link is there in the description down below or somewhere on the screen. All right, so let's go. VLOOKUP equals to VLOOKUP. Now what's our lookup value? This, comma, where is this value found? We are talking about top sales, so it's found here. That's the array, comma. And what are we returning? We want to see the country, so you select the country and hit enter. The other options that you see there, you can see that they are optional because they are in square bracket. Anyone you see in square bracket is always optional. You can still get your result with or without them. Okay, so you can see that it has given us the top performing country as Nigeria. That's for 2017. Then we'll do the same thing for this, for lowest. You see, say the same thing. I will have just made all my work absolute so that it can shift to the other one, but there's no problem. You say equals to VLOOKUP. Our lookup value is this, comma. Then since we are still dealing with this same one, it's still the same. This is where it is found, comma. We still want the country back. So that's France. France is the least performing there. Then most profitable in terms of profit, the same VLOOKUP equals to VLOOKUP, lookup value, profit, range. Then what are we returning? We are returning country. That's that. All right, so what are we saying again? Least profitable again equals to VLOOKUP. Our lookup value is this. Where is it found? We're talking about profit. What do we want to return? This. It still works within the same country. So let's copy the same format and use for this so that it will be the same. So let's go to products and do the same. For its own label, still equals to VLOOKUP. Here, top sales, we are dealing with sales. All right, let me make it absolute so that I can shift it to the other side. Let me make it absolute. All right, comma. What are we returning? This. So this time I'm making it absolute so that I'll just fill it to the other one. Since you do get that, so I'll just drag it to this side. Now it has shifted. You can see that 7,427 is Bounty chocolate. Do you see that? So that's it, because we are still dealing with this value. So this is the only one that shifted, the lookup value, since we are shifting to the left, right. So I'll do the same here and say equals to X lookup most profitable. So these are lookup value, comma. I don't need to make that absolute because I'm going to shift it to this one. Most profitable, so that's profit. So I'll make it absolute so that it will not shift when I drag. All right, comma. What am I returning? I'm returning this, so I don't need to do it again. So I just say absolute and hit enter. Now this will work if I drag it to the right, because the lookup value will shift to the right, but the other ones will still remain. That's the essence. If you check this, 4847 is Bounty chocolate still. All right, so what next? Total units sold, so equals to the most X lookup as well. Is the lookup value, comma, then where is this lookup value? Is unit sold, comma, and this is what we are returning. So it's still the same. So let me copy this, double click and use it for each one of them. Now we are done with our exploratory analysis. Now what we now have left is to now create our charts from each of this. So I'm going to create a new page for chart. So let me name this as chart. And I'll find all our charts here. So now the first chart that I want to make is for this country performance. Then there is one more thing I want to do. I want to do what I regard as progress chart. And now what do I mean by the progress charts? I want to see like the top country that we have here. Let me say the most profitable country. I want to see the breakdown, how the profits goes for each product. So I can create its own table here. Is that clear? So I'm going to make this, I'll call this most profitable country. I want to see the performance of each of the products in this particular country that we are talking about. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say now. So the most profitable country will be here. Let me make it will be here. So any country that is chosen as the most profitable, which is this, will come here. So I'll say equals to whatever country that appears here, most profitable country. So now I want, which is Nigeria or whatever country it is. Let me still copy this format. Let me use this format. So I want to see the breakdown of the product and the profit for each of the product. All right, so I'm going to, so let me just get the product from here. Let me just copy this. Let me copy this. So let me now establish the profit that each of this product make in this country. So I'm going to say total total profit, because I want to prepare a chart, a progress chart with it. So, and I want to show you how you can do that easily. So total profit. So I want to see the breakdown of the profit made from each of the products, since we are dealing with most profitable country. All right. So I'm going to use sum if to do that, which is equal to sum ifs. We open the bracket. Now we are calculating profit this time around. So this is for profit. Control shift up and shift down, then comma. We are calculating it according to product. All right, control shift down, comma. What product are we talking about? This product. All right, we are basing it on this country for that particular year. So I'm going to show you how it is. Now we have three conditions. So that's the breakdown of this product for that particular country. So now we have selected the product. So we are going for the second criteria, which is country. So let's go to country, shift down, comma. Then what country are we referring to? Any country that appears here. So we make this absolute so that it will not change. Then comma. Then we are dealing with it according to the chosen year. That is any year that is chosen here. Remember, we tied everything around this year so you can see. So that's the way it can work. All right. So we are dealing with year now. So your sum ifs can go with as many criteria as you want. So control shift down, we pick that, comma. So what year are we referring to? We are referring to this year. So we make it absolute. So that's the breakdown for that particular year. We get that now. So that's the breakdown of the sales. So this is what I'm going to use to make the progress chart. But this progress chart works in terms of percentage. So that is what I want to make it look like. So this percentage profit, break it down according to the percentage. So we want to display it in terms of percentage. All right. So all right, so let's go ahead. I want to convert all this to percentage. So for me to do that, I need to sum this up. So that's going to be equals to sum, just normal sum of this to this. So that's the total sum. So let me put it there as total. So I want to make it that. So I want to calculate the percentage of this. And how do you do that? In mathematics, you calculate a percentage by saying this value divided by this multiplied by 100. So that will give us the percentage. So that's equals to, you can put it in brackets so that there will be no issue because everything must be multiplied by 100. This divided by this. So this will now be made absolute because I'm going to drag it down. Always pay attention to the absolute of each value. Then everything multiplied by 100. So this is not a cell, so it doesn't matter, it's going to work. That's the percentage profit. So we can get rid of all and make it just 2. So you can see, so if I drag it up to this point, you can see that this is giving me 100%. So that's to tell you how it is. And if you sum everything, you sum it up, you say equals to sum. Let me sum everything up so that you can further confirm if your work is correct. and you see it's giving you 100. So now the next thing is make this one percentage now. So how do you make it percentage? Let me put 1% here, so that I'll multiply all by that. Okay, so I want to convert all this to percentage, so just do this. You say this, copy, so I want to paste it on all of them. Exactly. So in this case, you go to paste and then paste special, so that I can now see multiply. So with that, it will make all of them to appear in terms of percentage. Is that clear? And you can see they all sum up to 1 now. So that's how you convert it. So now, how do I find the remaining? We just say this is equals to 1 minus this. So those are the values that I need. So it's giving me this, so I'll just roll it down, that I can get the same thing too. You can see if you sum the two of them up, you get 100. So all right, so we are going to make a progress chart for this. I haven't done all this, so we are going to make a progress chart for it. So let me come to the chart. So the name is written already, so this is for progress chart. So I'm going to insert progress chart, and I want to use donut chart to do that. So you come to insert, click on this chart, and then you pick the donut chart, and then you reduce it to the resizable size. So let me just make it, let me use format to do that and make it 2 by 2. Let's say 2 inches by 2 inches, so that to be small enough, because I'm going to make it 6. I'm making 6 so to be visible. All right, so let's add data. Now the data I want to add now is to segment it first. So you click on add. You don't need to give it a name. So you want to segment it into the required number. So whatever number of segment you want to create, that's the number. You use 1 and separated by comma. That's how to segment it. This time around for me, I'll use 20 segment. I want to segment this circle into 20 segments. So look at it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I click OK. All right, so when you check, you see that it's 20, or you see that it's 20 here. So I don't need all this, so we'll get rid of them so that I can make it bigger. I don't need title. We are going to insert it dynamically. So now what do we do next? I don't need the background and the rest, so it say no fill and no outline. We don't need that. We are going to add it our own way. So now let's adjust the size of it and as well as the color. So let me change the color to blue. Let me make it this deep blue. Okay, then let me adjust the size to, let's say that I want to reduce this diameter here. Let's make it like 50 or 60. Let's see, 50. I think that's too much, so let me make it 60. Let me make it 60. 60 is okay. So I think it's looking nice right now. So let me duplicate it into the number that we need. So by using Ctrl D, that's it, as copied. So you drag it to this side. Now you press the same Ctrl D so that you maintain the same distance. That's 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so it's even getting bigger than expect. Okay, so let's change the color for each one of them. So this is blue, so I'll make this another color. All right, so let's choose another color. Let me choose this brown. Okay, let me change this also to, this can be wine. Okay, so the last one, let me use this orange for this. So now we can now make sure that they are evenly distributed. Highlight them by holding down your shift. Let's go back to format, then let's align them so that it can be of equal height. Okay, you can see that they've adjusted. So let's start with the first one. We need to input data to it. So let's click on this first one. You right click and then you select data now for it. So this time around you have this, so you say add data. So once this is open, so let's select this data range. So here we pick the name of the product. All right, then for this we'll now pick the percentages. That's, we pick the two percentages, this and this. So you click OK and then OK. So all right, so you can see. So let's click on this and then you right click on it and then you change the series. So we are going to change it to secondary series now. So we'll make it this. So you can see everything is done. So we now need to double click on this part. So you say it's no field, so that I can review the color underneath. You know, it was originally blue. Then you do the same for this. You double click as well. Color, okay, make it solid and then white. But this time around you make it transparent, maybe up to 20, so that I can reveal the one underneath. And you do the same for this. You right click, you select data for it. So you choose this and you add data. So same way you pick for this. Let's go back, you pick the second one, enter, then you pick for this. You are going to select this and this, then enter. All right, and OK. So we are going to make this and change the series. So make it secondary. All right, so you now double click on this so that you can make it no fill to reveal what is underneath. Then you do the same to this. This will be solid, so you don't need to do anything, just make it white. All right, then you make it transparent up to like 20. Let's leave it at 20. All right, so that's done for that. I'll pause the video now so that you can do the same for each and every one of them. All right, so now that they are all set, so we now need to label it. Let's bring in the percentages for each one. So this is for the first one. So what's the percentage of this? So we use text box to do that. So bring the percentage where this value is reading. So you come here and say insert. So let's pick text box. So I'm going to place the text box inside this way. So I'm going to add the value there. So what I'll need to do, in normal Excel, you can type equals to and pick this value here. Let's say this 10% and just say OK, and to bring in 10%. But in a text box it doesn't work like that. So text box doesn't work like that. So what you do, after clicking, let's go to the insert. Let me insert the text box again. So now for this, you just have to press F2 so that it will be here, or you just come here and click on this place. That's after highlighting the text box, you click on this place before you write. It must be on that same spot where it will be. So you say equals to, then you go to this and pick this. That's the value we need. That's the 10% showing there. So that's what it is. So let's bump it up. Okay, it's okay as black. No, we are going to make it blue. That's the same color that is. So this time around, let's change the font. I like using, you may not have this in your, I like using gold bold. You may not have it, but you can use any text as you wish, so it's okay. All right, so I think this is okay, so I'll make it to be at the center. All right, so that's that. Then for this, I don't need the fill, no fill, and then no outline, so that's that. Let me copy this and paste here. So let me bring it in here. So now I'm going to change the value again and bring it here and say equals to this other one. Enter. So that will give me this for its own. Then I'll paste the same here again. All right, so this is equals to, I'll pick this, which is the third one, and I'll paste here as well. I'll say equals to, now which is the fifth one, the fourth one, and I'll paste here too. Ctrl V. I come here again and say equals to, second to the last, and I do the same here. I'm going to repeat equals to again, and then I'll pick this. All right, so now the next thing, instead of me to be repeating the same format, I can copy this format. I can just double click and place it on each one of them. Can you see? So all I bother, I'll now press escape. So all I need to do now is just to be changing the color. This is this, I think this was the brown that I use for it, so that it can be the same. I use the deep brown, and this one was orange that I use. All right, so this one I use something green. This was it. And this is the light green, and this one the yellow. Okay, so that takes care of that. Mind you, as the values are changing, as we do have the year changing from here maybe to this, if this changes, the value here will also change. Can you see? The value here will change as well. If I change this to B, you watch, the value will also change. Can you see how responsive they are? So it's as good as that. So now let's label each one so that we know the product that it stands for. So let me insert another text box to name them. So which is, this is going to be for the product name. So I say you either press F2 so that will take you there, and then you say equals to, and you pick the product name. Is the product, and So now I don't want, let's format it. I don't want it to have outline, no fill, and then no outline. Right, so but let's make the color same color as its parent. So that's blue, deep blue. Then this again, let me make it that same Cadbury. Go bold. You can choose any color of your choice. So Bounty chocolate, I can centralize. All right, so let me copy using Ctrl D. Let me drag it here to make it easier. With Ctrl D, everything will be staying there, so they will balance up. But the moment you copy, the moment you change the format, it will go. So this is 24, the next one should be 25. So I don't need to be wasting much time. You can see after that is cabin. Can you see? So you don't need to be going back. So 25, 26, then this one 27, right? Then 28, then 29. Can you see? Can you see? So what do? You can now copy the format for this and give it to them all, so you don't have to be worrying yourself. You do get that? So you just press escape. So now just need to be changing the color. This was the brown that we use here. This one is wine. This one is this green. This is the light green. All right, so we can also align all of them by let's align them all and group. Let's align so that they can be of the same height and then distributed equally. All right, then let me put them into group. They're all group. So same thing let me do for this. Okay, so let me group all of them. Let me group this. So this has been grouped, so let me group it with this one too. So let's group all together. So they've all been grouped. The essence of grouping is that so that you just move them at once. You can drag them along. Is that clear? You can reduce all. Reduced to whatever size you want it to be. Are you seeing it? So that's that. So that's the progress chart that has been made for this. So we are going to introduce it into our chart. So now another chart I want to make apart from the progress chart is chart for this particular section. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to create chart for it. I'll say insert chart. So let me also use this, but not donut chart this time around. Let me be okay with this. So I'll just cut and then bring it here, so I can see section by discount chart, section by discount chart. So let me copy it here and paste. Let me copy this format and use for this as well, so that okay. So this is the section by discount. So in this case I can change the name to whatever I feel like. Let me make the legend to be at the right, or let me just make it to be at the top. that to be under this so that this can have enough space. So what about the label? I want you to have its label, but the label should be called out that way. All right, then like I said, I don't want you to have no fill and no, but I'm going to place it on its own. So that's for that. Average discount by section. So that's the title. So you can now design your title text. Let me change the text to bold. I think that's okay. Okay, let me make a column bar chart. Compare the profit and the sales made for country. So let's go and insert the column bar chart, which is this. I'll pick this now. All right, since the values are not too much, so you can use this. So let's cut and paste it on that chart. So I'll call this country per sales versus profit. So let's paste it here. I'm going to paste the chart here so that we can finish up what we need to do on it. So this is it. So let's format it as well. No fill or outline. The title will be profit versus gross sales by country. We don't need the grid line. Then the legend, let it be at the top. Yes, let it be at the right. The next chart I'm making now is to compare the total cost of gross sales with the total gross sales that was made, and also to see the profit line as well. So let's take a look at it. So I'll select the product by pressing Ctrl Shift, then I'll select product and then hold Shift down to select this, then I hold the Control to pick this and then select this, then I'll come to the last one here. So selected it that way using Control. Control is what will help you to skip in between. So if you are not skipping in between, just press Shift, click the first one, press Shift and then click the last one. But since we are skipping in between, you can click the first one and then go ahead with your Control. So Control will help you to skip in between. So let's see. So let's insert our chart. So I'll select the chart from here. I'm using 2 column charts. That's 2 column bar. So let me just cut Ctrl C, and then we'll take it to where charts are located. So I can call this one here. I can bring it to the top here and call it product total cost of gross sales versus total gross sales versus profit. Paste it there. It's comparison we are making, so we don't necessarily need this since we are just making comparison. Then all right, so I also want the legend to be at the top so that it can easily be seen, or I should make it to be at the right side. So let me make it to be at the right side of the chart. So I think that will be all. Chart title will be total cost of gross sales versus total gross sales versus profit by products. The last chart I want to introduce has to do with the country and the total units sold for each country. So it's going to be in form of map. So I'm going to introduce map. Okay, so Control, then I'll hold my Shift, then I go to Insert, and I want to impute map, so I'll just click this. So let's cut it. This is total units sold by country. Total units sold by country. So let me paste the chart here. So we now need to, the legend should be there, label, and let's give our chart title total units sold by country for the particular year that have been selected. So the last chart I want to create is an area chart that I will now choose for product and its performance across board. So let me insert the chart. All right, so let me pick this type of chart for it. Let me paste it here. It's area chart, so let me change. All right, it's time for us to build the interactive dashboard. Now I want you to note that the whole thing about interactive dashboard is to tell story that can enhance adequate and quality decisions to drive the goal of every organization. So that is what we want to prepare at this time, and I want you to know that you can use any means to prepare your dashboard. You can use text, box, shapes of all kinds, pictures, images, and the rest. Some people even prepare their background or the various shapes using PowerPoint and the rest, but I'm not going through that right now. I'm going to use shape from Excel and text box from Excel to prepare this. So let's get to work now. The first thing is to create the sheet that we are going to use. So this is the sheet, so I'm going to title it interactive dashboard. Okay, so that's going to be the title. So I don't need the grid line that you can see here. So how do you get rid of it? I want it to be very plain. So you just go to view and uncheck this grid line. Once you uncheck it, everything becomes plain. So now let me choose the desired background that I want. You can import if you wish, but for me, just to make it easy, so I'll just highlight everything by pressing Ctrl A. Then I'll go to the home page and I go to format cell. I've already have some colors that I use, so I'm going to go with this type too, or you can pick any one of them as you wish. And if you don't have any of them available here, maybe any of your colors is not available here, you can as well go through new cell style and prepare a new one that can be suitable for you. And once you do that, it will appear here. Okay, you can see it under custom. You can see that this was prepared by me. I don't need to name it, I just left it as style 2 and style 1. So I'm going to use style 2 because I want a deep color. So that's the first thing. You can see that everything is now set. So now I'm bringing in my shape because I need to add the title for this dashboard. So I'm going to create that now. So let me start from there. I'm inserting my shape. You come to insert, then you go to illustration and then shapes, then I pick my suitable shape. Now I prefer this because of the curved top edge. So all I'll do is to draw it and pull it down. So let me change the color just to format it. Then I want this color over here because I want it deep since it's going to be the background. Then I don't want any form of outline. Okay, no outline. All right, so you can see but this edge is too much, so I'm going to reduce it by pulling this. The curved edge is just too much for me. I want something, okay, something simple and okay. All right, so this is it. I can reduce it a bit more. All right, so now the first thing is for me to insert the title and then the logo of the company. So I'm going to use text box like I said to insert that. So I go with this text box and I bring in the title here. So now the title will be Sales Performance Analysis. It's time to design it. Let me make it what I want. I prefer using Go Bold. I know you don't have it, it's a customized. I downloaded it, so you can use anyone you wish. You can use Arial, Gold, and the rest. I just want it to be bold, so that's all. So then I'll choose my suitable color. I think I'm okay with this light orange. Then I'll bump it up since it's a title. Let it show. Okay. All right. So now I don't need the background and I don't need the outline. So I'll come to shape. I get rid of the no fill and then get rid of the outline. So I'm okay. You can see it's coming out nicely and neatly. All right. So let me take it up a bit. I want it there. Sales performance analysis. Okay, I can add dashboard to it. Sales performance analysis dashboard. Okay, so now I want to insert the name of the company. So the company name is TWA Company Limited. Okay, so this doesn't have to be the same size, so I can reduce it to like maybe 14. Yeah, so all right, so let me insert the logo of the company. So I'll come through here, that picture from here, then I go so here we go. So I can put it here, make it a bit smaller. Okay, so that's the logo of the company. So I'm going to demarcate it. I could make this small. All right, I could make it small and then demarcate later on, but I just want to leave it this way. Then I'm going to demarcate the whole line by using image as well. So let me use this. So if you want to insert it, just hold down shift so that it can be straight. So with that you will get it straight. Okay, and let me make it thick and go to property and make the outline, the width of the outline, let me make it this. Then the color of the outline, I want this. Okay, so but I'm going to pull it down a bit so that I can create more space. So I guess this is cool. This is okay. All right, so the next thing I want to do now is to bring in the combo that controls all the I'm going to link the combo box to here, so that as I change the year, everything will be changing. So that's the next thing I want to do. So where do I get the combo? I'll get it from developer tab here. So once you don't have this ribbon, it doesn't come by default, so you can activate it from your Excel. So just go to file, then you go to options. When you click on options, then you click on ribbons, customize ribbons, then you see it here. It's going to be here, and then you just check. In case if it's on check, you check. All right, and if you can't find it here, just come to this place and search for it. Once you search for it and you see, just click on it, and then you click on add. It will come this way, then you check. That's all. So but since it's here, I'm okay. So now it's here, so you just click on it and then come to insert. Then you can see the combo box here, and you click it and draw it here. Can you see? I think I'm okay with this. You can take it to the edge like this. All right, so now the next thing is for us to now link it to what we are talking about. So you go back and click on properties, make sure that it is highlighted. If it's not highlighted, right click is the only thing that can highlight it. All right, so you just click on this. Let's link it to the range. So we'll go to the range of the year that we have brought out through the unique function earlier. So you go to the page where it is, where are the years. Now these are that's the range. From here you click on it and click on this back. Then let's pick the link. Let's link it to this row. We're going to link it to this row, so that is the one that will be changing the row. So that is the essence of adding the row number from the beginning. Remember, as this row number changes, it changes this, and as this changes, all the data here, they are all changing. So what do? You click on this, then you go back there and pick it. That's it. All right, then you click OK. So let's return back to this place. All right, so once you click on this, you can see that they are there. It's 2016, like that. If you watch, it will have changed to 2016. Can you see? And then when you come and click 2017, if you go there, you'll see that every other thing is changing to 2017, and that's how you know that it's working. So it's there. So on this part of this, I'm going to introduce the flashcard that I prepared, but I'm going to make it for the country section. So that's what I want to add to this part. So, and how many are they? Let's see. I'm going to add for this 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are adding 4 cards here, and I'm going to make it to be text, box, and shape. All right, so let's bring in the shape first. So I prefer this shape, this particular one, because of the round edges at both ends. So we need 4 of it. I'm going to work with this. Yes, this is okay. Yes, I think it's okay this way. So let me make it the color that I want. I prefer this color here. I'm going to choose that color, then no outline. Okay, so now for the shape, I mean for the effect, I want it to have a shadow, but it's going to be outer shadow. So when you look, you can see that I like having that feel of that outer shadow. So we are bringing in 4 of them. Let me extend it a bit if you can. Okay, all right, so I want 4 of it, so I'm going to make it, so we need 3 more. So I'm going to use Ctrl D to make it, to copy it. That's it. So I'll position it where I want it to be. This little gap is enough. So since it's like that, Ctrl D again will make it to be equal distance. Can you see? And this. So I can bring them together a bit so that I can create more space between them. All right, I think like this is okay. So let me align them. Okay, so you come here, you highlight all of them by holding down your shift. Then let's align them. Now I want to align them to be equal and then to be evenly distributed. So you can see, can you see they are evenly distributed and they are equally aligned. So let me shift this down a bit. Okay, so this is okay. So let me now bring in our text box to be able to add the information that I want to display on this part. So I'm going to bring in text box. So I'm going to bring in text box. So let me go text. I'm okay with this, so I'll draw it in. Now I don't want outline, no fill and no outline. So what next? Let's insert our text in it. So I'm going to link it to the other page on EDA where we have those informations. How do you do that? In Excel, it doesn't work just like, you know, when you are on a normal cell, you can easily, on a normal cell, you can easily say equals to and go, or in using text box, no, it doesn't work like that. If you type it, it will not work. So what you do is to highlight it, and then you bring your cursor here and press and click here. Now you can see that the cursor is no longer blinking here, it's now here. So that's when it can work. It now say equals to. So let's go there and pick the first one. We want top sales. I know we are referring to country this time around. So top sales. So we have chosen that. And see. So let's position it well. Now let me reduce the font size and all that. We make it 9, then let's make it gold, so that will be okay. Can you see? So I want it to be centralized in that page. All right, so it is centralized now. So let me move it up. So I think it's better I pull this down a bit so that you can have more space there, because I have 3 informations to put there, so I can highlight all of them and pull it down a bit. All right, so that everything would be the same. Okay, so let's pull this up. Demarcation is okay. So that's for top sales. So I'm going to use Ctrl D to pass it on to the other ones. Okay, now let me choose the color that I want. I'm going to highlight it and then change the color to blue, deep blue, that will be using all along. So all my text in any of these will be that color. So now let me use Ctrl D to copy it round. Now I'm going to paste it here. Now I'm going to do the other one. Okay, so you can see this is H initially. So now I'm going to change it to, because it's moving forward. So in this text, you can check it from here. You can see this is H. The next one is I, then J and K. So that's the way I want to work it out so that I can be faster. So I will just make it this way and say this is going to be, after H is I. Now lowest. So what I will do now is to copy this format by clicking on it. Then I'll come to the home page and click on this. Then I'll paste it on it. Can you see? It has assumed the shape. So the next one is to use this and bring it here. Then this one would be after I is J. Okay, so click the same. Okay, we can leave it for now and copy the other one. After J is K. Okay, just to make the work easier. So now what do? I'll just copy this link, this format, and use it for both of them. So you come to the home page. Now since I'm going to use it for 2, I'm going to double click. Once you double click, you just say this and then you say on this. You can see then when you are done, you click on escape. Can you see everything is okay now? So let's align them. I'll hold your shift down and align all of them. So let's align. Want to align them so that they can be of equal height. Okay, all right, so they are there now. Want to get the value and the name and the label. So all I need to do is to do Ctrl D to copy and bring it to the middle. So to get the value now, so since it's here is 16, the next one will be, because it's the next cell downward, so it's just 16. This will save us stress of going back and forth. So that's what I'm doing. So that's 16. Then let's Ctrl D again for the other one. That will now be H17. That will be the name of the country. So now the next thing is for us to copy this format. Let's copy the format by double clicking. I click on this and I click on this. Now it has assumed that, so I click on escape. So you can see that this is okay on its own. All right, so this is the one that I need to just extend a little bit. All right, so it's okay now. So okay, so now let's align all of them by holding shift down for just those three. First, let's align. So I want to align it to make it straight. All right, so they have adjusted themselves, and I want them to be equal distances apart vertically, so you can see. So now the next thing is to now align it to the center of that shape. So let's go. So I can do this and use this to do that, so that everything can adjust. Then I group. Now they are one. Now all of them, they are one, so you can move them around. Okay, can you see? You can move them around. Can you see? So let's do the same here. Ctrl D to copy this. Now this is 15, then I'll make this 16. So I'll press Ctrl D again to get the other one, then I'll make it 17. All right, so now let me copy the format of this and use it for both. So let's copy the format. You double click. All right, I click on this, I'll click on this as well. You can see, so I click on escape. So let's bring them all together now. So I'll stretch this out so that it can contain the value as long as it's within. All right, so let me align it, because alignment is very, very important. So let me align them and evenly distribute them. So I'm going to align them so that everything will adjust. Then vertically, I want them to be evenly distributed vertically. So they have adjusted themselves. So now let's now align it with this to make sure that it's in the middle of the text box and as well as group. So let's group it now. All right, so you can see. So I want to pause the video and allow you to do the other two. Is that clear? Remember, you click on it and Ctrl D to copy, and then you change this to 16, the next one to 17. Then you align everything. You do the same for the other one and centralize it. All right. All right, so if you did it well, you're supposed to have something like this on your screen. So now let's properly arrange them so that we'll be sure that they are all in the right place and the right they are properly aligned. So let's go. You click them one by one by holding down your shift. You can see the essence of grouping. It makes the selection easy. So let's align it again to be centralized, to be of equal height, and then horizontally distributed equally. So you can see they've adjusted. Now to confirm if our work is right, you can see these values will be changing as we change the year here. Can you see? It's changing. It's responding accurately. All right, so that is how it goes. So we are done with that stage. If I like, I can choose to demarcate it from this. It's a choice that I have to make. So let's do the same. Just introduce your shape, which is just this. Then I come here and I hold it down. You hold your shift to make sure that it's straight. All right, so it doesn't have to extend from one end to the other. So I think we're okay like this, just to demarcate it a bit. So all right, so let me work on the thickness of it. Remember the outline we chose, the thickness was this. Then you change the color to this so that it can be consistent. So you can see everything is divided well across. All right, you can as well make this shape, this particular shape, this level. Okay, the beauty of it is that you'll be able to make sure that these are centralized. So let me group all of them now, everything here. Let me group these two. Let me group it, okay, alongside with the image. Let me group. Let me group them. Group. So they are now one. Okay, so let's group everything here now. So first, let me click on this by right clicking. Remember, that's what we highlighted for you. Then I hold down my shift to pick each and every one of them. All right, everything is grouped now. So I come and I group it all together. Yeah, you can see everything is moving together. Can you see? They are all moving together. So that's how it works. So the next thing I want to do is to bring in the progress chart for the most profitable country. That is, that gives the breakdown of the performance of each product for the most profitable company that we did. So let me copy this again. That's using Ctrl D, and then I'll drag it down to use this section for that. I'm going to use this section for that particular one. So I'm bringing it in here. All right, so the first thing I want to do is to bring in the heading. So now how am I going to prepare the heading? Is a progress chart, just as the name implies. Progress chart for most profitable country. So the title will be progress chart for most profitable country in a particular year. That is the year that is specified, just like what we have done here. So now I'm going to prepare the title down here. So this is the year that was selected, so I'm going to use it as progress chart for that. So this place will be the heading. This is the part I want to use for the heading. So I'm going to use concatenation to join them together, so that, because I want to make the heading to be responsive, so that the year will be changing as we are changing the year. So you just say equals concat. All right, so now the first statement is progress chart, comma. Is that clear? Progress chart. So I'm going to insert 4. So in the text box, remember, I'll create space first before I write 4, then space again, and I end this and put comma. For most, or let me say for the progress chart for the most, so I'll create space, then I'll put comma. The most profitable is here already. Most profitable country, comma. Then I'm going to insert in, that's the year, in. So let's create space, in, space again. Are you getting it now? Then comma. What year are we referring to? This particular year here, whatever year that appears here, that year, comma. And what country is that? So I'm going to put that also in quotes. Quote, space, equals to, space again, then I end the quote, comma. Then what country are we referring to? Any country that appears here. Remember, this country has been linked to this place. That's most profitable country. So I hit my enter. So you can see most profitable progress chart for the most profitable country in 2019 equals to France. So that's what I want to put here. You can see that it's France that is the most profitable. All right, so let's insert our text box to do that. So I'll go to insert, and I'll pick my text box. So I'm going to draw it here. Like I said, no outline, no fill, no outline. So like I said, instead of clicking here, I did that the earlier time, you can as well press F2, it will bring it there. So you say equals to. So let's pick that title. It will appear there now. Can you see? So it's there already. So let me reduce it a bit. then let me highlight them and make it what I want it to be. I want it to be this blue, okay, and it's still going to be the normal area bold, so that everything can be the same. Okay, so I think we are good to go with this. Let me see if this color will come out well. All right, I think this color is better. So now let's bring in our chart. So we just copy and paste. And see that that's the essence of grouping. So we copy it and bring it here to paste. So what we do is to drag this. Okay, so I don't want it to occupy everywhere, so I'm going to reduce it from this edge, so that everything will be reduced. Okay, so let me bring it together. All right, so let me adjust each one of them so that it can accommodate the content. So we can see this has also come and is also doing its work. Let's change this now. Can you see the response is also responding very, very well. All right, so I may choose to change the color of this background that we have here, the color of this shape. Let me see if I can get another color for it. So this is the color I intend, so that everything can come out well. So I prefer this color to the previous one. So now this is set for this chart, but let me change this color as well to a deeper one. Okay, so it's coming out now. So you can see how it's changing. As the year changes, this is also changing, and that's all. So the next thing I want to add to it now is to bring in the cards for the products. I'm going to arrange them here. So I'm going to borrow this again and insert in this place. So let me do something like that as well to demarcate that part. So I'll use shape again. So you hold down your shift and then you drag down so that it can be straight. Once you hold down your shift, it will definitely be straight. It's only when you don't hold down your shift that it will not be straight. So let me demarcate this way and pull it down a bit. All right, so let's get the thickness and the color. From format, go to weight, then pick second to the last, then we change the color to this blue, this shade of blue. So that's the demarcation. So if you like, let's hold down shift again and make it wider. So let me adjust it now and move it closer a bit. All right, so this is what I'm working with right now. So you can see this is settled. So I want to get the performance for each product. That's the card for it, so that I don't need title for it, but in case I can also bring in title to it. So I'm going to title it product performance in that particular year that is specified. Okay, so I'm going to create that as well. Let me create it under the heading. Let me come under the heading. So I'll call it product performance in products, so that anytime you want to change it, you don't need to alter the formula. Just change it from here. Product performance, initial capital please, product performance, in, so that's what I want to concatenate it with this, so I'm going to put it here. Sorry, this should be capital letter. Right, so I'm going to concatenate these two here and make it, I say equals to concat. So I'm going to select this, all right, comma. I'm going to create space so that the two will not be mumbled up. So I'm going to use quote to create the space, quote, then comma, then whatever year that appears here. So that's what it's going to be. So this is what I'm taking to the other end. So let me just copy this using Ctrl D so that I will not have to change any format, and bring it over here. All right, so I will now say equals to, now is the next thing after this, so all I need to do is to just change it to 66, and you see product performance in that. So I'll just come here again and click this, and come to home and click this and bring it on it. That's all. Can you see? So let me make it to be at the center of it, so that I will not have to be worrying myself with adjustment. So you can see that's come. So let me introduce the cards. So there are how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now 5 is not even, so I would have loved to have it like 3, 3. All right, so I can add one more thing there to make it 6. Okay, so I can add total profit here. Let me sum everything up. So it's going to just be equals to sum. So I'll select all this. So that's all. That has taken care of the total profit. So I can introduce that into the flash. So I can just write it here. I can pick this as well to be the card. So let's go. Let me create card like this here. So I'm going to create 6 of them. So 3 per row. So we are using this. This is 1. All right, so let me make this what I want it to be. Can extend it a bit more so that I'll be sure that it's going to take the right up. Okay, so the color will be this, of course, no outline. Then shape, like I said, I like shadow underneath. So that's okay. 1. Let me shift it here. We will take the second one. All right, so I think it takes it perfectly. So let me align before I duplicate it downward. Align it, so they are now aligned. So let me just copy using Ctrl D, then I also bring it down here. So I can adjust this to pave way a bit for them. So that we can have space a bit. All right, so those are the cards that will be there. All right, so if you want to be sure that they are aligned, you can just use alignment again to make sure they are aligned. Okay, you can see, just align. So I think it's okay, it's cool. Just to make sure that it's properly aligned. All right, so let's introduce our text box again. All right, so it's going to be equals to, without wasting time, the first thing here is this top sales. All right, so let's finish it up. No fill, no outline too. Okay, so the text will be 9 also. Don't need to be too big. 9 is okay. 9 is okay. So I'll make it the same gold bold. So that's, I'll make it 10. All right. Then the same blue. And let me make it centralized. Okay, so let me just copy it and fill it on the other one. So Ctrl D and position it here. So instead of it to be M, okay, it will be N. Can you see? So what do? I'll just go again and copy it for this place. N O. Now this will be O. All right, so let me say Ctrl D again, or Ctrl D, it has gone. So let me take it from here and bring it here. So what's the next alphabet after O? That's P. P. Then Ctrl D. I'm going to bring it here. The next after P should be Q. Should be Q. Then after that, so of course this will have to change because it's different entirely. So this is different entirely. I said I'm going to say total profit. That's what I want to make it to be, which is this total profit. But let me do something. I'm bringing the total profit here equals to this. Then value will be this. On its own, it has nothing to do with label. You don't need label for that. That's just it. So let me delete this so that we can easily have it alongside the other ones. Okay, so it's going to be after Q is R. You can see. So now all you need to do is to click this, double click on the format, then you use it on each one of them. So with that you get the same format, then escape. We are good to go with this. So the next thing is to bring out, let me align it. Let me align it up. So align this to be at the top. Let me align it to be at the top for its own people to be this way. So now let me align this too. Also do the same. All right, shift them to the top that way so that I can take it. Okay, so let's start with this top profit. Ctrl D. So this is 15, then here will be 16. All right, then Ctrl D again so that I can be the same distance. Then this will be 17. Okay, so that's how it is. So what I'll do, I can as well finish all so that we can do it at once. So what we'll do is just to do the same here. Ctrl D. So this will be 16. 16. Then the next one will be 17. 17. Can you see? So Ctrl D. You position it here. This will be 16. 16. Ctrl D again. And I change this to 17. All right, so let me do the same thing here. Control D. Here will be 16. Then Control D again. Here will be 17. I'll do the same. Control D. This will be 16. 16. Control D. This will now be 17. So this is the last one. For total profit is only once. It's going to be here. That will just be 16. Make it faster. I just copy the format once and for all for all of them. 1, 2. Double click. Just come here. Just keep tapping on each one of them. Are you seeing? You see the magic of making your work fast? Okay, so I'll just click on escape. So I'm going to make them to be aligned and to group as well. So let's do it here. You select everything holding down your shift, then let's align everything to the middle, because I need to evenly distribute them. So that's why I don't want to do everything together. I'm going to align it using this. Then vertically, I'm going to distribute them vertically. Then I'll click on this. Now align it again into the middle of it. So this time around, I'm going to use this. Then I'll group. Can you see? So let's do the same here. Hold down your shift, align them. So I'm going, after this, I'll pause the video and allow you to do it for yourself. They are now aligned and evenly distributed vertically. And I'll click this. Then I will align it to the center, then group. I'm going to pause the video for you to do the remaining for yourself. So remember how you are going to select each one, align them first before you group. All right, so if you happen to do it well, you're supposed to appear the same way like this. So you can see the way it is. So you can now adjust your work. So now, to be sure, if you check this, you can see that they are changing as well, responding as well. Can you see? Everything is responding perfectly well. So now let's group everything together. Let's group all of them so that we'll put them, we'll know that they are all one. Plus the title. So let's group it as well. They deserve to be grouped. So that's it. You can now group the two groups together. So let me group it along with this guy. This one, let me adjust it a bit. Okay. So let me group it now. Let me group all of them in the same lane together. So this is what I want to group. Alright, so the next one is to bring in the map which shows the units sold per country. So let's get that and use it to occupy this part of the chart, just this part. This is where I'm going to paste it. So I'm going there to copy. So bring it in, copy, Ctrl C, and paste it here with Ctrl V. That will paste it here and position it here. So let's make it worth it. Go down a bit, then I'll reduce it this way. Okay, I think so. This is perfect for me. I don't need the title. We are going to insert the title at the end of the day. Then I also don't need the background, so we are going to get the background out, no fill, then no outline. So these are charts. Let me change the text there so that it can be more obvious. I'll choose this blue color, Then I'll change this to same font, gold bold, that we have been using. I think everything is okay. What is left now is to bring in the title. So like I said, we can copy this. Just hold down your control and drag it down to this place. So what we need to bring now is the title. Let's get the title of the map. That's total units sold by country. I'll still make it in 2018. Okay, so let me go here and still concatenate. So let me put in here at the front here, so that anytime I need in, that is just what I'm going to be picking. All right, so I'll say equals concat tab. So I'll come here, total unit, comma. So I need space in between, so I'm going to create space so that the in can come in by putting space in quotes. In, then I need space as well, comma, then space, then comma, whatever here is here. So you can see. So what you need to do is to change this to 67, and that will give you that 67. So that will change. So what we need to do now is to just copy this. You can see that it has changed. So it's to copy this format and paste it on this. So there you go. So this has settled the graph that we have already prepared. So what we need to do is to divide this section into 4 so that I can accommodate the remaining one. So we can just do this by copying this. Let me just drag this one only down, move it a bit closer. I'll hold down the shift so that this will be straight. Okay, so that's that. And I can as well copy this. So and divide and reduce this. Still hold your shift down so that do not move. So now we have it this way. Then I'm going to use this. Hold down control so that I can demarcate this as well. So now make this to be equally divided. Okay, so that is that, about that. So this is now divided into 4 equal parts. All right, so I've divided it into 4 compartments so that I can put in the remaining charts. So let's say this goes first. So this one will be, let me create the title. I'll say it equals concat this, right, comma, then I'll create space, comma, then in, comma, then I'll create space again, comma, and 2018. I don't want to mix it up, so that's why. Then I'll come here, copy this, paste it here. So this will be 68. So it's better you do it one by one like that, so that you not be prone to error. Okay. So now I'll stretch it. Can you see? So with that, you will not be prone to error. So what I need to do is to copy this, so come here and paste. So we now have it here. So I may decide to change the format of this design so that I can come out well. Let me change the color combination to the one that I know that will be obvious, so that can be obvious and be seen. All right, so I'll bring it in here. So let's reduce it. This is lovely. Okay, so let me make it more visible by changing the color. I don't want to, let me still use this same blue, then this, so that it can come out well. Then we can see. Same thing with this. I'm going to do the same. Let me just select this, come here, choose the same color, and change this to go bold. So I think everything is clear and okay. So in 2018, so I'm going to use this again at this point. So to bring in the next chart, so the next chart will be this. So this is average discount by section. Let me write the title somewhere else. So let me call this average discount by section. Okay, so let's create for that. Let's concatenate it. It say equals to concat average discount, comma, create your space. I think the next thing is to use in. So let's create our space. Okay, comma, and before clicking on in, comma, then space as well by putting it in quotes. You put the space in quotes, then 2018. So we should be able to see that. All right, that's the next thing. So let me copy this title. If it's easier to copy, just hold down your shift, hold down control, just hold down control and drag. Okay, you can hold down control and drag. Then I'll just change this one to 69, so you know that that's what it's going to pick. So let's copy the format and paste on it. All right, so average discount. So let's get the charts in. Let's bring in the chart. So this is our chart. I copy, then so I'm here, it's going to come directly here. All right, so let me just drag this here, and I'll drag this to follow under the edge. Now I'll drag the bottom that way. Okay, so we don't need the title, so I'll get rid of it. It's already there. Then let me bring the legend, bring it to the right. That's the conventional way of doing it. So let's change it again to change the color, and then I go bold so that everything can come out well, so you can see without any stress our chart is okay. So let's get the other two. So what's the next one? So I can change this title to reflect by country. It's better that way. So let's go through the same process of concatenating the names. So you say equals concat, you open your brackets, and let's select the name, this, comma, then let's create space, quote, space, quote, then comma, then we'll go to in, comma, quote, space bar, quote, then comma, 2020. So you can see how easy this is working. So you can copy any of this, or it's better you work with the last one so that you don't have to mix it up. I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to change this to 70. You can see all you need to do is to click this and then pick the format so that you don't need to worry yourself, and paste the format there. So let's get the chart. So let's copy, let's come to paste here. All right, so let's keep it here for us to use. And yes, so for this I don't need this section, I get rid of it. We don't need the title either. Now the grid line, let's get rid of the grid line. We don't need the grid line either, so we can extend this to this part. Then this one, the x-axis has been picked, so let's adjust it to this and go bold. So with that, this will come out well. So let me move this up a bit. Okay, so that's, and this one too, let's make it this gold bold. So you can see everything is clear now. So let's insert the last one, total gross sales per profit. So this is comparing the gross sales with the revenue generated. So that's the cost of the gross sales and the total sales made from it. And you can see there is profit in it. So let's concatenate like we have always been doing. Okay, let's go equals concat. All right, so let's pick this comma, then space, comma. Let's go down in to pick our in, comma, then let's create our space, then comma 2018. All right, so you can see it there. So let's go and add it here. So let's copy this, hold down your control and drag down, hold it and drag down. So this is 70, then the other one will be 71. And you see how it works. So what you need to do, click again. Let's get our chart in, control, copy, and let's go and paste here. Okay, so let's drag the desired space. All right. Okay, this chart is okay like this. All right, so we don't need this. Let's get rid of it. We don't need it. No outline. Sorry, no fill, no outline. All right, so let me change this to the blue and this. All right, so let's change this as well, blue and gold bold. Everything can come out just fine and just well. You can see everything is responding well. They are all responding accordingly. You can see the chart is good, and you like said I like it to come out that. So this is our chart. Everything is responding well. Okay, so once you change to 2017, everything changes to 2017. Have your record. So that is how this chart is made, and you can see how nice it is. Hey, I want to believe this video has been of tremendous help to you. Why not subscribe so that I can get more video like this? And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can always be the first to be notified each time I upload a fresh and new video like this. If you like this video, why not give me a like by hitting the thumbs up button and share with all your friends and loved ones. And if you have any comments or any question whatsoever, why not drop them in the comment section down below so that I can hear from you. Until next video, bye.